Are you planning to install a water heater and you don't know the plumbing materials you need? In this video, I am going to show you the main plumbing materials needed to connect a water heater properly. I will also explain where each material is used and why it is important. And when we get to the electrical part, I will explain why you should call a qualified electrician to handle the electrical connection. So let's get started. First, of course, we have the water heater itself. Before buying your water heater, you need to know the type and the capacity you need for your home. You should also check the manufacturer instruction because different water heaters can have different connection requirements. Once you have the heater, the next thing is to plan how the water will enter the heater and how the hot water will leave it. Next, you need the cold water supply pipe. This is the pipe that brings cold water into the water heater. The pipe size should be suitable for the heater and the plumbing system you are working with. Depending on the installation, you may be using PPR pipe, copper, or another pipe approved for the temperature and pressure involved. The important thing is not to use just any pipe because this pipe will be supplying the heater under pressure. You also need to make sure the pipe is properly supported and the joints are correctly made. After you know the cold water supply, one very important fitting is the isolation valve. You can also call it T-valve. This valve allows you to stop water from entering the heater whenever you need to carry out maintenance or repair. Imagine the heater develop a problem and there is no valve to isolate it. You may have to shut off the whole water supply to the whole house. That is why having an accessible isolation valve is very useful. Make sure the valve is installed in a position where you can easily reach it. Another important component is check valve. You can also call it non-return valve. Depending on the water heater and the plumbing system, you may also need a check valve, also called a non-return valve. Its job is to help prevent water from flowing in the wrong direction. Whether it is required and exactly where it should be installed depends on the heater manufacturer instruction and the design of the plumbing system. So don't just install it. Check the installation requirement first before installing it. Now let's talk about the hot water outlet. Once the heater heats the water, the hot water need a pipe to carry it to the shower, basin, kitchen, or other hot water outlets. This pipe must be suitable for hot waters. You also need to plan the routing properly so the pipe does not interfere with other service or become difficult to maintain. If the pipe is exposed, proper insulation can also help reduce heat loss and protect people from touching very hot surface. You also need flexible connector and GI flexible. GI flexible is used in hot water line, while flexible connector is used in cold water line. After making the plumbing connections, don't immediately switch on the heater. First, the plumbing installation need to be checked. Open the appropriate water supply and check all the connection carefully for leak. Make sure the water is actually entering the heater and that the hot water outlet is properly connected. For a storage water heater, the tank should be completely filled with water before heating the element. Never energize an electric storage water heater while the tank is empty because that can damage the heating element. Now we have covered the plumbing side, but remember, the water heater also need an electrical connection and this is not something you should guess or improvise. For the electrical installation, call a qualified electrician to connect the heater according to manufacturer's specification. The heater's electrical rating and applicable electrical requirements. The electrician will handle the appropriate cable, protection, earthing, isolation, and other electrical requirements. So, to connect a water heater, you need water heater itself, flexible connector, GI flexible for hot line, T valve or check valve. And after completing the plumbing, test the system properly before heater is energized. For the electrical connection, call a qualified electrician. If you find this video helpful, please like, share it and subscribe to Keson Mess Plumbing for more practical plumbing tips. Thanks for watching.